Joining me now is Tzipi Livni, the former Israeli vice prime minister and foreign minister and an outspoken Netanyahu critic and opponent. And it's so good to see you again, Tzipi Livni. Thank you for giving us some important perspective here. You gave a speech recently. So to regain power, to set the stage, Netanyahu gave key cabinet posts in defense and international, in national police security, internal security, to extreme right-wing partners. And one of those ministers had previously even been labeled as a terror leader of the extreme right. Is this now playing out in real time with the Palestinians?
Well, the situation is explosive, but I think that we need to make a difference between the need to fight terror anyway, and this need exists no matter what is the Israeli government. But yet it is clear that the current Israeli government is completely against any solution with the Palestinians based on two states for two peoples. Their vision is about annexation, building more settlements, and therefore there is no political horizon for now. So I believe that the right thing to do is, while fighting terror when needed, is also to have a political horizon, hopefully achieving peace in the future between us and the Palestinians, but it's not going to happen in the near future, unfortunately.
Was one of those ministers' visits to the most sacred Arab site in Old Jerusalem, was that provocative?
No, he visited the holiest place also to the Jewish people as well. And Netanyahu promised that the status quo in the holy places will remain, and he will keep it. But this is just one situation that can be explosive, but not only. And when on the Israeli government, there's a government that is completely against the solution with the Palestinians. On the Palestinian side, I must say that there is no leadership that is willing also to make decisions. So I believe that the most important challenge now for Blinken and for the American administration is to find a way to keep the road for peace open, namely not to expand or to ask Israel, demand Israel, not to expand settlements, not to legalize illegal outposts, not to build or to expand settlements. And hopefully this will keep the road open for future negotiations, something that will not happen now, unfortunately. But we cannot afford that during this time, the vision, the idea of two states for two peoples will cross the point of no return. And so this is the challenge, I believe. It's very important.
By changing, of course, the situation on the ground in terms of where the settlements are and what is Israeli land and what is Palestinian land.
Settlements and also supporting Palestinian economy, working with the Palestinians in order to ease the Palestinians' life. There are lots of steps that can be done that are not internal peace the next day, but yet giving some hope and keeping the road open for peace in the future.
Netanyahu has also rolled out a plan to severely limit the power of Israel's very independent Supreme Court. What would this mean for Israel?
And not only, the new government is taking steps that are going to change, if it will succeed, and hopefully not, it's going to change the nature of Israel as a democracy. It's not only the Supreme Court. They are attacking and putting legislation, bills, against watchdogs within the government that are working against corruptions of minister, attorney general, free press, and also politicization of the Supreme Court. So for 75 years, Israel kept its democracy, human rights, equality for everyone without discrimination based on race or gender or religion. And without all these institutions that are keeping Israel's democracy, this can change the nature of Israel's democracy. But the good news is that people are taking the streets and are fighting for Israel's democracy. So it's going to be difficult for Netanyahu to do so.
He was reelected because of violence that had existed. He clearly found support for a lot of these hardline policies. What do you do about the fact that the Israeli people voted for him and Gave him this power to create this coalition.
Okay, he has a majority, of course. He established the government, but it's a democracy. Election doesn't give you the permission to ruin and to destroy the institutions of democracy itself. I mean, you get the permission to promote your own ideology and vision as long as you're acting in accordance to the base of Israel's democracy, with an independent Supreme Court, with a free press, with watchguard dogs within the government, with an independent Attorney General. And there is no permission in democracy to change democracy itself. And this is something that we are fighting for. And, you said the people gave him the permission. Yes, he has the majority, a political majority, but around 50% of Israelis are completely against this because they want to keep Israel in accordance to the values that were established and defined in the Declaration of Independence, which is close to a constitution in Israel, saying that Israel is the nation state of the Jewish people with equal rights to everybody as a democracy. And after 75 years, it's in danger, and we are fighting for it.
Tzipi Livni, it's a pleasure to talk to you again and to look at the underlying causes here, which are profound. Thank you very much.